The LCK, LCS, ROG, and Dignitas have all rebranded, Juked have raised over $1 million on their crowdfunding campaign, and the emote PogChamp has been removed from Twitch. All that and more on This Week in Esports and Gaming for the first week of January 2021. I'm your host 𝗪𝗏𝗫, and let's get right into it. Before we fully begin, I want to give a quick disclaimer. I am changing up the format of This Week in Esports and Gaming a little bit. You'll notice that I have included This Week in Esports and Gaming because gaming is a huge part of esports. Without gaming, there would be no esports. Big format changes. I will be highlighting 3 top stories for each week instead of diving into every story very in depth. Each of these stories is going to be covered more extensively and going to have a lot more research for each of these stories. The other stories will still be covered briefly, but just headlines and maybe 1 to 2 sentences. So we're going to dive into the top 3 stories. The first one being the LCS, LCK, ROG, and Dignitas. They've all rebranded. The LCK, they announced a rebrand on January 3rd on Twitter, featuring a new logo for 2021. It's seemingly made up of 2 triangles that represent the past and the future, according to their announcement, and it's the 2 sides of the rift. They also say that it's the powerful outstretched wings of a bird in flight, according to their announcement. Honestly, the LCK is something I'm a little more alien to, so that's cool. Their logo pays respect to the precise angles and star-inspired geometry of their historical mark, according to their website once again. And they even mentioned that their design principles were contrasting in regards to the shapes, the colors, the motion, and the framing. Minimalism, which much respect here. I mean, it's quite modern. I think this logo can fit into a lot of places. And atmospheric. I don't know what that means, but they mentioned a lot of fog, so I guess we'll be seeing a lot more fog on the LCK broadcast, graphics, things like that. Overall, while I don't follow the LCK as much, this design aesthetic pleases me because of just how simple it is, and I believe it's a great way for them to actually introduce the LCK into non-gaming areas without seeming overbearingly gamer-esque. I know that the LCK is already very popular in South Korea, so we'll see where they can go to next, but I think this is a great thing to actually put it into more of the mainstream, so great job on this LCK. We'll see where this takes them. In regards to the LCS, they rebranded on January 5th. They have a new logo that is seemingly very vertical. There's a new shift in the league's focus, and they have a new slogan made by many folks noticed that this came 2 years after the LEC rebrand, which by most standards is a lot better content-wise than the LCS, and this also pushes the fact that the LCS actually might be pushing away from their traditional sports broadcast style that they've used in the past. They want to be highlighting more of their innovative things in the future, such as the young players. One of the things to know about the LCS is that there's actually a lot more new rookie young players coming in. I believe only 2 players who played in the inaugural 2013 LCS split are playing in this year's 2021 split as well. So the LCS are trying to move more towards modern. The community was split on this rebrand. Obviously, you can't really please everyone with this community rebrand, but I'm personally not a big fan of the logo itself design-wise, but the overall change in mood and the focus of the LCS, I think that's really good, and that one I'm actually very excited to see. I'm hoping they can use this rebrand to finally catch up to their bitter rival, the LEC, when it comes to content. ROG, the esports org, they announced their rebrand on January 4th. They announced it across all socials, and according to them, the brand refresh is supposed to reflect the team's relentless competitiveness across many tiles that they compete in, as well as modernize their previous branding. And I believe this is more so of a logo rebrand than maybe an identity or an actual, slogan rebrand, like the LCS or the LCK. But that being said, I still think this is one of the best esports rebrands I've seen in all of esports. I mean, it's really hard to rebrand in esports. We've seen ESL do it in the past. We see 𝗲𝗲 do it a little bit recently. There's lots of organizations have been rebranding in the past. Complexity did it, but this one I believe is actually very well done. It's reminiscent, at least the design is, to its past, and it's literally straightening up some of the elements of the logo itself. The text is still the same font and still the same style, which I really enjoyed. That's a huge plus for me. And overall, it just looks more cleaner and once again more versatile. They can probably put this in other areas and people might not really know that it's ROG or it's an esports org, so they can kind of insert themselves into more casual environments. I think would bode well for ROG as well. And last but definitely not least, Dignitas, they rebranded on January 6th. They've gotten rid of the owl and replaced it with the classic Diggy. I'm not sure how exactly you pronounce it, but I think it's Diggy that they're actually known for. According to Dignitas, the rebrand pays tribute to the legacy of Dignitas with Diggy, a beloved logo that originated at Dignitas' founding in 2003. It's now being reimagined. Once again, they cleaned it up a bit from their previous logo, their old Diggy logo, and they also completely removed any semblance to the owl that they had before for a bit. I didn't really like that logo personally, but now it's gone, so honestly it's fine. When I saw this new rebranded logo, I initially thought of TeamSpeak. I'm not sure how many of you know about TeamSpeak. It's a pretty common communication platform used for competitive gamers. However, with the difference in color, I believe this is a pretty strong reboot, and once again, pretty simplistic. I believe design-wise, just overall from all these rebrands, we're seeing a lot more minimalistic, flat 2D graphics coming out from the esports org, which is a pretty big stark contrast from the 3D and bezel logos that we were seeing in the 2010s. So I'm excited to see where these logos and designs continue going, and also where the focus of these organizations continues to go in the near future. So stay tuned for that. For our second story, Juked raised over $1 million via its crowd equity campaign. To give Juked a quick intro, they are a one-stop shop for everything related to esports and content. So their unique selling proposition is that they put everything fans of esports could possibly want in one easy-to-use platform, such as scores, live streams, news, tournament information, notifications, and etc. Since they launched a year ago, they've actually been able to grow their user base 74% month over month, achieving over 50,000 monthly active users, and they raised $1.07 million from over 2,500 individual investors. They want to use the campaign's proceeds to grow their staff. Currently, they have 6 full-time folks, and so they want to bring on more people to help grow the web product, the apps, as well as their actual content that they can offer. This campaign actually brings their total funds raised to $2.1 million, and their founders include Ben Goldhaber, he was the first gaming hire at Twitch; Chris Chan, he was a former software engineer at IBM; and Deland Tai, who was a former chief technology officer at Rooster. Juked, really, they have some big names on their team, investor-wise and founder-wise, which makes it super exciting to see this come alive. The one thing I do want to watch out though for is how they will differentiate from PopDog.com. PopDog also is in collaboration with Loaded, one of the biggest talent agencies in gaming, and they have a big competitor here. PopDog.com basically does something very similar in regards to aggregating all the data as well as content for esports fans. So we'll see how they differentiate here. And last but not least, PogChamp. That emote was removed from Twitch on January 6th. Some context for those of you who don't follow American politics. Trump supporters marched on the Capitol Wednesday to protest the election of President-elect Joe Biden. They forced themselves into the Capitol building where members of Congress were going through the process to count the electoral votes and formalize Joe Biden as the future president of the United States. After a woman had been fatally wounded during these events, Ryan Gutierrez posted to Twitter a call for further violence to unfold so that the woman could not have died in vain. Gutierrez is the face used in the PogChamp emote, has been a part of Twitch since 2010. In light of Gutierrez encouraging capital violence, Twitch has actually made the decision to remove the emote. And so if you ask me, this is probably a smarter decision from Twitch, given it doesn't really align with their brand identity as well. Their follow-up and solution was also very smart. They actually adopted Day 9 TV's idea to have a random face selected whenever someone types PogChamp. And so Twitch actually adopted this, and they're selecting various Twitch streamers to actually be the face of Pog for the last couple of days. So most recently being 𝗚𝗎𝗏, and then also Reversal as well. So this is a great initiative. I think it allows for Twitch streamers to get some recognition by Twitch, and also gives fans something to cheer on in regards to their favorite streamers. So congrats there. And those are the top 3 stories. Let's just dive right into the partnerships. Dignitas, they partner with Zytara, a financial tech firm. The partnership will see the release of Dignitas branded Zytara debit cards and app skins. Both entities will collaborate on a range of content and driving awareness around financial solutions for gamers. MSI, they launched a collegiate esports program with Uconnect Esports. The MSI student program will support collegiate esports events, organizations, and on-campus esports facilities. The initiative will also include a paid broadcasting internship, allowing students to work on professional events alongside industry mentors. So that's pretty cool there. Moonton, they unveiled their partners for the M2 World Championship. Cathay Cineplexes, MediaCorp, Secret Labs, Subtle, Toomey, and Sindt have all been announced as partners. So congrats to Moonton. Pizza Hut, they've partnered with 𝗪SG. The year-long partnership will see both parties collaborate on a variety of community engagement events as well as video content. This is the second deal Pizza Hut has entered into esports after signing a virtual stadiums rights deal with EA Sports in 2019. Misfits Gaming Group, they partnered with ASUS ROG. They'll be providing all 3 teams, Misfits Gaming, Florida Mayhem, and the Florida Mutineers, with Strix branded PCs and laptops, while Misfits Gaming Group will create a variety of content for the hardware company to use, which is really cool. For finance and M&A, esports analytics group Cavea, they raised $1.2 million. The investment is expected to consolidate and expand its product offering, grow its team, as well as allow Cavea to work towards monetization. Cavea is a platform that provides organizations, tournaments, brands, agencies, content creators, and streamers with solutions to help manage, collect, track, and value marketing content data for all available channels. As far as workforce changes go, Astralis Group, they hire Kasper Sindt as the commercial director. Sindt joins the organization after 3.5 years as the head of commercial partnerships, sales, and marketing at the Danish Football Association. He will commence his new role on March 1st. Joel Holmes-Darby joins Method as general manager. Joel, formerly of 𝐓𝐴𝐻𝐿 Esports, will be working with Method's World of Warcraft guild as well as any future operations to help enable the organization to achieve its rebuild objective and bring on incredible talent. He's joined ClassyBeef, a marketing company with a large presence in the online gambling space, as a new brand ambassador. As a result of the partnership, the company has announced an upcoming upcoming event featuring the CS legend HeatoN Wars gambling tournament. Luckbox, they brought on Rand Kaspi as the chief financial officer. Kaspi also brings with him 6 years of experience with his following tenure at 888.com, having served as previously as a CFO of ParaZero Ltd, who developed drone safety solutions. And last but not least, for workplace changes, David Hingle, he joined Corsair Gaming on the social team. David formerly joined 2K Games in 2014 as the community and social media manager, heading social for games such as WWE 2K Battlegrounds, PGA Tour 2K21, XCOM Chimera Squad, Civ 6, XCOM 2, and many other games for over 6.5 years. As far as new stuff goes, Riot Games, they've unveiled changes to the LCK with the new season commencing on January 13th. They will have a revamped LCK Challenger League as well, with higher salaries, prize pools, new sponsors, significant changes to the overall competitive format as well, according to the release. Secret Lab, HP Omen, Worry Bank, McDonald's, and Logitech, they've all signed on as official partners of the LCK beginning in 2021. And cool to note, the lowest salary among the first team players as well as coaches tripled from 20 million Korean won to 60 million Korean won, which is 18.5 thousand US dollars to 54,000 US dollars. Coaches will also be guaranteed a salary of 36,000 US dollars or 40 million Korean won. And last but not least, NRG, they launched a new casual gamer brand, Full Squad Gaming. FSG has more than 630,000 followers on TikTok after making 17 videos, almost 20,000 followers on Instagram, and 53,000 subscribers on YouTube, with the goal of trying to diversify revenue streams outside of just traditional esports for NRG Esports. NRG has also brought aboard YouTube content creator Matthew MMG Meager, who plays Madden NFL, to help make videos. So all the sources are in the description. Thank you so much for watching This Week in Esports and Gaming. I hope you do enjoy this new style format. Once again, everybody, if you would share this with someone that would find this useful, I would appreciate it, and I will see you all next week. Take care, everybody.